Alright, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Now, last week, I think it was, when the fight was announced, Robert Whittaker vs. Dricus Du Plessis was going to take place at UFC 290. I did a video reacting to that news and giving my prediction on how I think that fight would go. I went into some detail, but I want to go into a little bit more. I want to just point out a few things that I've noticed in both of their fight styles that I think will, pay credence to what I said in the long run. I think that I said some things about Dricus Du Plessis striking. I think that I may have overstated them. I know that he is a good striker. I know that he's a capable striker. I just don't think that he is on the level of a Robert Whittaker. And I think that, unfortunately for him, maybe they're fixed now that he's got his new nose, but that those gas tank issues also don't help matters, because once he gets tired, his striking becomes infinitely more sloppy. So I'm going to show you what I've noticed. What I've noticed is that Robert Whittaker is absolutely incredible with tricking guys with feints. And I know that feints have been kind of memeified ever since Israel Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz, because Joe Rogan was just absolutely guzzling every time Adesanya threw a feint, right? But didn't do anything with it. Now, Robert Whittaker uses them to set up his strikes. He uses them very frequently. And while they are kind of memeified, they are still a very important part in sophisticated striking. And I also want to then show you some video evidence of Dricus Du Plessis being very, in my opinion, overreactive to feints. And a good example of that is round 2 in the Darren Till fight. So we are going to get right into it. We are starting at 3 minutes 40 seconds of the clock. The first one I want to show you guys is versus Marvin Vettori. And then I'm going to show you Dricus, and then I'm going to show you a few different variations of how Robert Whittaker uses this sequence in different orders, with varying attacks and things like that. So we start off at 3 minutes 43 seconds. We're a little bit ahead here. I might just skip 5 seconds. Okay. So Whittaker's drawn out. He draws something out from Vettori here. It's quite impressive. Sorry, my nose was itchy there. He's pumping that jab constantly, or at least the left hand. And every time he does, watch what Vettori's hand goes to do. It goes straight up, right? What does he look like he's going to do? He looks like he's getting ready to parry something. I want to start it from here. Here we go. That first one, Vettori goes like that. Little paw. He's getting ready. That one was bad. He reacted badly there. He went to go. Dude, I did it again. Trying to mimic Marvin Vettori. I hit my own mic. Okay. So he's pawing. He's getting ready to parry. But every time, nothing else comes behind it. So Whittaker notices this. Vettori, my bad, the orc, throws a jab of his own after this. And as soon as he does, look at the reaction difference, first of all. Like, Whittaker reacting to feints or fakes is just barely moving out of the way. Eyes wide open, doesn't even blink, because he wants to be there to counter if you were to actually throw that shot. He's now seen Vettori try to parry multiple times when he fakes that jab, and then what he does next. Because Vettori's hand is now a little low. He's getting ready to parry, so Whittaker instead goes up top. And that is beautiful. Vettori tries to get his hand up there. He can't quite get all the way up there, though, right? Like, that shin wrapped around the back of his head. Perfect head kick. And then immediately, you can tell that it wobbles Vettori slightly. It kind of reminds me of actually the second Yoel Romero fight. Robert Whittaker hit him with a clean head kick. And he just kind of, like, took one off step and then was totally fine. Vettori's got a hell of a chin, dude. I know people keep talking about Dricus Du Plessis' chin, pardon me, and I've even brought it up before. I want to know if it's on the level of a Marvin Vettori, though, okay? Because that was a pretty clean head kick, and he even got one hand up there, right? So you can see Vettori start to smile because he knows that one got him. And then what Whittaker does next is just phenomenal. This is him using the same techniques, but in varying sequences, right? So now Vettori's smiling. He knows that hurt him. Whittaker goes to feint in with a jab. Vettori thinks a head kick's coming, and I can't blame him, dude, because he just got caught with a head kick, so he's not parrying shit. He's ready. Got his hand up there, and instead of the head kick, Robert Whittaker goes right inside his guard with a clean right hand. Beautiful. Vettori's like, what the fuck? Thought a head kick was coming for sure. And then I am going to skip ahead to right here. We've got a few seconds before this moment comes up, but he gets him again. And at this point, Vettori's now been tricked with the same sequence of with the same sequence of feints or fakes twice, with getting hit with 2 different strikes. So he doesn't really know what's coming next. He kind of like panics actually in this next sequence, and I could definitely see Dricus Du Plessis doing something along the lines of this. And Vettori got really lucky here. Like, he just got out of the way of this. He literally has no idea what's coming. Feint jab. Look at this. His both arms just go out. He's like, I don't know what to do anymore. And the thing that makes Robert Whittaker so tricky is that when he throws his right hand, when he throws his teep kick, when he throws his head kick, all of the starts look the same. They all look the same. The way that he twists his hips, the way that he twists his shoulders, because his hands are down, typically speaking, when he's striking, it's hard to tell whether or not he's cocking and loading a punch or if he is about to throw a head kick or what. So Vettori has literally no idea what to do, kind of just panic and ducks because he's like, I don't want to get hit with anything. And the knee of Robert Whittaker just goes off the back of his head, or the top of his head rather. But had that just landed, if Vettori just ducked down like an inch or two, not as much, right? Like if he didn't go quite as low, that could have been a clean knee to the face, and we might have seen Marvin Vettori get finished. Now the next fight I want to show you guys is Dricus Du Plessis versus Darren Till, or Darren Till versus Dricus Du Plessis. At the time, Darren Till was higher ranked than him, but either way, dude. So just for context also, this was after a 10-8 round by Dricus Du Plessis, yeah? Like, in my opinion anyways. I don't know if a judge scored him that, but he just beat the shit out of Darren Till for 5 minutes. Essentially, Darren Till had like maybe 2 moments on the feet, but the rest of that round was him getting his ass kicked. And so I get that Dricus's nose is fucked up or whatever, and he threw a bunch of shots in this round. So you just shouldn't be at this level punching yourself out in the first round, right? In my opinion anyway. So again, Dricus just got a 10-8 round. Okay, now we're coming out for round number 2. And I understand that he ultimately got the finish in this fight, but still, man, it is wild, okay? So he throws a little lazy leg kick, which is fine, dude, but his hands are completely down. I could absolutely see Robert Whittaker having a counter for this, but no problem, dude. We'll keep going, because that's not what I'm here to show you. Till goes to throw a leg kick, and watch what Dricus Du Plessis does with his defense. He just covers up high. It reminds me of like a Piotr Jan style defense. Darren Till didn't even really feint with the hands. I mean, his feints are really subtle. He might even just be like twitching his shoulder. But he goes to throw a leg kick, and Du Plessis completely covers up. You know what I mean? And look at what is available on the head of Dricus Du Plessis. The entire side of his head, right? Where we just saw Robert Whittaker head kick Marvin Vettori. Where Vettori still, his hand was a little lower, but it was still right there to be gotten up. Dricus Du Plessis, at this point, can't see shit, bro. He's covered his face. So he has no idea what's coming. You know what I mean? Whittaker could throw a head kick. He would have no clue that that's what was about to happen. So doesn't check it or anything. Continues that high guard for a second thereafter. Till sort of pumps with the hands. And Till does this a lot. But the thing is, too, about Darren Till can do all of these feints. Dricus still knows that he ultimately wants to land the left hand. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not really another big shot that Darren Till, wants to land. Everybody knows he wants to land that left hand, or at, maybe the left elbow. Whereas Robert Whittaker's got like a good left hook, a good right hand, a good head kick. Like, he's got a ton of stuff that he can hit you with. So it's gonna be tricky for him, man. Darren Till, look at that little slap of the hand. Look at how far Dricus's hand went from that slap of the hand. That's wild to me. Pops him, splits the guard, because as soon as Dricus's hand comes back from that slap, which is pretty clever there by Till. Dude, he's leaving massive openings to the body and the side of his head. He's covering the front of his face, right, like Piotr Jan. But my God, dude, there is openings for days, and Robert Whittaker is gonna take advantage of all of these openings. Okay, now I'm gonna skip ahead about 25 seconds here. Dude, Till drops his level for a second here while he's kind of pumping out his jab hand, and look at the reaction we get from Dricus Du Plessis. And dude, also, I was gonna say, no one's expecting Darren Till to take you down, so it's kind of, but Darren Till did take him down in this fight, and I think it might be Darren Till's first takedown in the UFC. But either way, dude. Sorry, I just have to keep pausing it. I don't want to get in trouble. So look at this, Darren Till. Look at that, dude. So reactive. So reactive. That body's wide open. The side of the head is still wide open. Like, he is reacting to everything. And the problem is with that, if you are somebody that has gas tank issues, you don't even need to already be tired. You're going to get tired from being that reactive. Your brain is fucking overloading you with information right now. And every time he reacts, that's exhausting shit to do. He's like tweaking out basically. And he's already got he already kind of has gas tank issues. And at this point, he's already tired. This is just going to exhaust you further. And I understand that he ended up getting the finish, but dude, Robert Whittaker is not going to get taken down as easily as Darren Till will. He might not even get taken down because he's got some of the best takedown defense ever. The longest anybody's ever been able to even hold him down, I believe, at least in middleweight, was UFC, I don't remember, but Yoel Romero, the first fight, held him down for maybe 20 seconds. And in that 20 seconds, Robert Whittaker landed the most significant strike, which was an elbow from the bottom. So, dude, like, he is reacting so intensely to literally everything Darren Till puts out there. It is crazy. And now, to be fair, he does try to counter after this. Look at that, dude. You know what I mean? You're covering up for all these little, like, level changes, little tiny feints, and then he actually goes to throw a left hand, and you're not even close. Now, thankfully, he slips that, and then he goes to counter. But I don't know, man. It's not crisp, clean technique, and I've seen a lot of people say also, well, you need to go back and watch his EFC days and things like this. I have, man, and I get it. Those fights are a good representation of the technique that he has, right? But these fights are better representations, in my opinion, of how those techniques will be applied, or if he can apply them, because you're fighting better competition who are making you tired. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to go away in the first round. So I understand that he's probably capable of a whole lot more, but I think that these fights are more representative of how he's going to do against a guy like Robert Whittaker. Whereas Robert Whittaker, we don't have to say, oh, go back to his, you know what I mean, whatever days, right? We've seen him fight the best in the world for years, literally. So, anyways, dude. Okay, so now I gotta wait a few seconds because I wanted to show you guys something at 4:13, but he is just, it's so reactive, man. And Till is beaten and tired at this point, so he's not really taking full advantage of this moment, whereas Robert Whittaker will absolutely take full advantage of this moment, at least in my opinion, dude. I think that Robert Whittaker is going to have a heyday with all this shit, but either way, dude, look at that, man. Till just kind of like, Whittaker's shin is getting wrapped around your head, dude, because Whittaker's not going to be gone in the first round. You would have to hit him with a clean shot, like just that he didn't see coming or something. I know Dricus Du Plessis has power because he's gotten TKOs and shit, and maybe I'm missing a fight in my head, but I don't ever recall him like one punch starching somebody. You know what I mean? He hit Till with like fucking 60-something shots in round number 1. Darren Till's still here, and Till probably shouldn't even be fighting at middleweight, if we're being honest. But it's just insane the amount that he's reacting to this stuff. Now, I think that, yeah, Till, we see splitting the guard coming up here, even though somehow, some way, I don't know how, but because Dricus has got a pretty tight shell there, but splits the guard with a nice jab there, and then I think a left hand comes after it. And then Dricus tries to attack him to get him off of him. But here's what I notice. So he almost catches Darren there, hits him to the body, backs Darren off of him for sure. In this situation, I don't think Robert Whittaker's backing up in a straight line. I think Robert Whittaker's angling off and countering you with whatever the fuck he feels like. You know what I mean? Whatever he feels like is open. And he can throw that head kick on a dime. Like, he doesn't need a switch. He doesn't need a... There's not a whole lot of wind up to it. Think about that Marvin Vettori one was in half speed. And it still landed in less than a second. Like, he's... Man, I'm telling you, dude. This is not looking ideal for Dricus Du Plessis, if you ask me. And I know that a lot of people got kind of upset with me, but it is what it is, dude. Okay, so I did not skip far enough. We'll skip now. I can't remember what I'm wanting to show you here. I think it's his entries, but either way, dude. Look at this, man. The leg kick thing again. And Till does not have a wide variety. He throws a leg kick. He throws a 1-2. You know what I mean? He's not really, like, consistently teeping you to the body. He's not throwing round kicks to the body. He hasn't thrown a whole lot of oblique kicks up to this point. And he's got him reacting so bad that he's covering up from a leg kick, not checking it, no nothing. Okay? Just wild, man. Okay? Naked leg kick, hands completely down, and then, like, this shit, dude. I'm sorry. Whitaker is catching you. He eats that elbow, man. This is the best example of Dricus Du Plessis' chin, in my opinion. Right? This is an absolutely lovely shot Darren Till threw. He got Robert Whittaker with it when they fought, but how is he going to look when he eats a fucking clean head kick? Because so far, I've seen multiple scenarios where I see Robert Whittaker landing a clean head kick on Dricus Du Plessis. You know what I mean? Like, he eats that good. He gets rocked. His neck gets spun around and everything. His left foot was off the ground for some reason. I'm not sure what he was doing, but incredible chin. For sure, dude. This next one is, in my opinion, the worst one. Where there's no way Robert Whittaker is letting you off the hook like this, man. No way in hell. Watch the reaction Till gets from him, dude. Okay, drops his level a little. Look at that, man. He's not even, like, beginning to defend a takedown or anything, if that was the case. Till drops his level, and this is the reaction we get out of Dricus Du Plessis. Way overthrows with that right there. You tell me a right hand's not coming straight for his fucking temple if this is Robert Whittaker. Okay. Now that's all I wanted to show you guys on Dricus' side, how badly he reacts to these feints. The next fight I want to show you guys kind of a variation in how Robert Whittaker will throw these things, and not just that, but how he is able to actually get the finish, because a big knock on Robert Whittaker has been that he doesn't get finishes, right? But we know that he does, and I'm going to show you guys a few finishing sequences from Bobby Knuckles here. For a little bit of context also, if you're a younger fan or a newer fan, right? So in terms of age or in terms of how long you've been watching the UFC, the significance of this finish might not mean a whole lot to you, right? Because we saw Jacare Souza not have the best end of his career. However, dude, at this point in time, Jacare Souza had won 10 of his last 11, okay, finishing 9 of them, including submitting, I don't know why I said it like that, but submitting Gegard Mousasi, who was incredible, who was one of the only Bellator champions when he was champion that I thought might be able to actually be UFC champion had he been in the UFC at the time, who was the only guy to finish Jacare up until this point, right? Gegard Mousasi back in Dream knocked him out with, I think it was an up kick. And so he avenged his only finish loss. And then out of those 11 fights, the only loss that he had in there was a split decision to Yoel Romero. So this dude was still at the top of his game. We were talking about him getting a title shot, right? Dana White was literally saying, if I don't give Jacare a title shot, then he's probably going to kill me, or something along those lines. I thought it was funny, but we are going to start at... Why did I say 2 minutes, dude? Hold on 1 second. My apologies, dude. 2 minutes on the clock. No way, dude. Alright. Un momento. My bad, dude. Okay. Rob, by the way, for a whole round, has now defended Jacare Souza's attempts to get this to the ground. He dropped Jacare with an uppercut. I think at one point Jacare tried to bait him in, kind of like Charles Oliveira style. Rob wanted nothing to do with it. He's hit him with a head kick already up until this point, by the way, which he threw immediately after throwing a 1-2 because, as I said earlier, his right hand looks so much like how he throws his head kick. He mixes them all in so well together. Okay, this is what he sets it up with too, man. He throws a teep to the body after throwing a jab coming up here. No jab, but look at that. Fakes a teep. Look at what Jacare's head does, man. He leans back and to the left, right? Noted. Jab. Jacare, nice counter there by Jacare, to be fair. He wants away from Rob. He wants nothing to do with this on the feet. He's been beat up already. He wants this fight to the ground 100%. Out of those 9 finishes, by the way, like 8 of them were submissions. I can't remember how many exactly. A lot of Kimuras, shit like that. So Rob's taken note of how he's going to react to that teep kick. He's been hitting him with it all fight too, so keep that in mind. Jab. Look at this. Leg extended back. His hips are on the way to throwing a kick, but also the right hand looks like it's coming. But also he just threw a teep kick. He uses that right hand. When he throws his right hand, when he has the intent of landing a head kick, he angles it so far inside that even if it is not your natural reaction to slip towards his kick, he's going to make you do that. He doesn't want to land that right hand. There's so many times where you can see him landing this kick where his hand is like palm open inside because he wants to almost like block your head from being able to go back. And then what follows up, which Jacare is not expecting. Boom. Clean, dude. And then lands a follow-up shot. Another follow-up shot, another follow-up shot. Mario Yamasaki back in the cage, okay? Lets Jacare get beat up pretty badly here towards the end. I do want to show the finish because, again, like, people like to shit on Rob, say he doesn't get finishes. He fucks people up, dude. And out of his last few opponents, 2 of them, Kelvin Gastelum and Marvin Vettori, are known for having some of the best chins in the division. Like, can somebody tell me who's knocked out Kelvin Gastelum if I'm just misremembering something? You know what I mean? Has anybody flatlined Marvin Vettori? I don't think so, dude. Look at that one. Nasty shit right there. Mario Yamasaki's like, no, he's not dead yet. He's not dead yet. And I know he's not Steve Mazzagatti, but he had this same shit. I want you guys to see the amount of blood coming out of fucking Jacare Souza's face after he gets done with him. The finish is very quick here. I think it's at 134. Yeah. Now look when Jacare goes to get up. Look at all the blood just spewing, spraying out of his head, man. Brutal finish. Now I want to show you guys another finish of his that he's gotten with the same technique, because it seems that no matter... everybody knows he wants to throw this kick. Everybody. It's almost like... it reminds me of Habib a little bit, right? Like, everybody knows he wants to get a takedown, but nobody can fucking stop it from coming. You know what I mean? That's what this reminds me of. Because everyone knows Robert Whittaker's got a fantastic 1-2 head kick. Like, it's his best combination. Michael Bisping was talking about it when he was fighting Kelvin Gastelum. All this shit. The guy is phenomenal. He's so tricky that people just can't figure it out. And as I said, despite it being like one of his best tools, one of his best combinations, people still can't seem to figure out that it's coming. It's because he overwhelms you with so much information, man. So the next fight I want to show you is him versus Derek Brunson, which again will add some context to this, by the way. Or not even really context, but just that Dricus Du Plessis fought Derek Brunson, right? Did not do the... I get that he got the finish. First of all, it wasn't like a finish like this. It was a corner stoppage, which I agreed with, by the way, because Derek Brunson was getting the fucking shit beat out of him. But that fight, he got, in my opinion, almost dominated is a word that I would use in round number 1. Derek Brunson was able to take him down and hold him down for minutes, and then land work on the feet. Just Du Plessis was getting pieced up by Derek fucking Brunson, okay? And that fight essentially came down to the 40-year-old got tired before the 29-year-old, okay? And then Derek Brunson started going to shit after that. But for that entire first round, Dricus Du Plessis lost that first round. Robert Whittaker did not. He got taken down once, and I don't even think it counted as a takedown because he landed on his side, popped back up immediately. Derek Brunson was shooting for fucking the entire the entirety of this fight, which, but for the record, was not very long, but you know what I mean. Derek Brunson, you know, I feel like should not be having that kind of success against you if you're anybody who has title aspirations. And I'm not saying this to be disparaging to Dricus Du Plessis, man, but we have seen guys who are championship material handle him in a way that is not that same way, okay? So, right here at 128 on the clock that's coming up, obviously, Whitaker catches Brunson with a good right hand, which, you know, changed the way that he reacts to movement from Whitaker and doesn't know what's coming next. So, sticks him with that. Beautiful, okay? He stunned him pretty good. Now I'm going to skip ahead 10 seconds. Oh, why am I going to skip ahead 10 seconds? No, skip to 110. My bad. We'll go to 113. No problem. Okay. Whitaker sets up his final shot coming up here at 106 on the clock. He throws a jab. Or he throws out... Yeah, he throws a jab and then he throws out the right hand, but lazily, to see what kind of reaction he's going to get from Derek Brunson. So he pops him with the jab, zero head movement whatsoever. Jesus Christ, dude. Lazily throws out that right hand. Derek Brunson moves away a little bit because he just saw that right hand pause, or pawing him, sorry. His eyes appear to be fucking closed. And then what comes right after that, as we know, dude? Bop. Clean, dead to rights, just... oof. And then he's always so accurate with that follow-up shot, man. He is very, very, very accurate with the follow-up shot. And when he smells blood in the water, unless you are tough as nails, he's not just going to let you... he's not letting you slide, you know what I mean? This finish, in my opinion, over Derek Brunson, who, by the way, was like 32 years old at the time, not fucking 40, is much more impressive than Dricus Du Plessis' finish of him. Now, the last fight I want to show you, and it's not a long moment. I know I've shown a lot of Bobby Knuckles here and not as much Dricus Du Plessis, but I thought that the feints that we saw Du Plessis reacting to was good enough. So, and then I wanted to just show you kind of how he actually is able to get finishes and how he uses these techniques so regularly that it's almost like unfathomable that he doesn't land on Vettori. And I was also gonna do I was gonna talk about the takedown defense of Robert Whittaker and things like this too, but I think I might wait until that fight's closer because you know, it's not extremely relevant right now. I am extremely excited for it. That's why I'm talking about it and doing this video right now. But also, this video would have ended up being extremely long, okay, if I did do that. And I apologize if this is long and clunky because this is the first time I've ever done a video where I've broken down fight footage or had it in slow motion and things like this. So I just wanted to I wanted to try it out, and then we'll do more in the future. So the next fight I wanted to show you was the Kelvin Gastelum fight. Okay. Now, this combination of Whitaker's does work best against southpaws. Dricus Du Plessis switches stances, and he switches stances quite frequently, to be fair to him. Like, he's listed as a switch fighter, and he truly does switch stances quite a bit. But he can land this from anywhere, basically. Like, he doesn't need you to be a southpaw, but it works better if you are. But anyways, dude, Kelvin Gastelum fight. Now, there was a bunch of moments in this one that I wanted to include of like him using head movement and counters to show that even when he, if he's on the back foot, it's still gonna be an issue for you, dude. Like, it doesn't really matter how you fight him. It's just incredible. But Jacare is an orthodox fighter for the most part, and so is Derek Brunson. So this is Kelvin Gastelum, another southpaw. He throws a jab, and watch what happens. Watch what Kelvin Gastelum does and how he reacts to this jab, okay? And it's coming soon. Okay, Gastelum pumps out a jab of his own. Whitaker barely moves. Whitaker pumps out a jab. Gastelum moves way back. It might have even touched him, actually, and then he kind of... But his head is leaned over a bit to the left, like shades of Daniel Cormier, John Jones. You know what I mean? He didn't just move back. He moved back and towards the kick of Robert Whittaker. Okay? So he follows up and he just lengthens the combination this time. Okay? Jab. Look at that right hand, man. He's not throwing that to land. He's not even throwing a punch. His hand is open. You can see the writing on his gloves. Look at that. Just a post, rage finder, whatever you want to call it. Kelvin Gastelum is dead to fucking rights here. And that was off of one simple jab. Like, Whitaker made that read. This is a minute and a half into their fight, and Kelvin Gastelum's been pressing them the entire time. Whitaker hasn't really had a chance to throw a head kick or anything like this, right? He only needs a little read, and you don't need to be given him much. Like we saw Vettori. Now, credit to Gastelum. Dude's got an incredible chin, but we saw Vettori just go like this, little pawing motion, which is like if you are gonna parry a punch, you want to parry it with your backhand, because if you try to parry it with your front hand, well, you've just left your entire fucking face open. So he's got his jab hand there, and he's parrying with his backhand, which is how you're supposed to do it. Whitaker sees, oh, he continuously does that every time I fucking pump out a jab. I've just done that like 5 times in a row. You know what I mean? I'll wait until his hand comes back from that parry, and as soon as it does, head kick, man. So I know that it was earlier on in the video, but go back and watch the Dricus Du Plessis react, because I wasn't sure how to stagger all this out. Like, I didn't know if I was supposed to show you Dricus first and then all of Rob's evidence after. I wanted to show you a bit of Rob's, Dricus's, so it was fresh in your mind, and then Whitaker getting his best shots when it comes to the feints and the fakes and the head kicks, of course. So that's what I think he's going to be able to land on Dricus Du Plessis. Now, whether or not he gets the finish, I don't know. I just know that Dricus Du Plessis overreacts to a lot of stuff, and Robert Whittaker's feinting game, in my opinion, is more sophisticated than Darren Till's. His feints are more believable. He has a ton of false starts. He has a bunch of different techniques that all look the same. He doesn't just have a 1-2, right? So he's got a more variety of strikes that he could hit you with. Dricus Du Plessis is not going to know what the fuck to do. And it was like when we saw with the Marvin Vettori thing. After he tricked him once, caught him with the head kick, tricked him again, Vettori thinking he's going to get head kick, catches him with the right hand. The third time, Vettori doesn't know what the fuck to do. So he just ducks down. And had he just not gone so low, just a little bit, he would have caught a knee clean to the face. So again, I hope that this wasn't too clunky. I apologize if it was. But I'll get better at it in the future. This was the first one where I'm breaking down fight film. So anyways, dude, like and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. See you at the next video. Bye-bye.